the exchange process is a secure way to move those documents from one Nextpoint database to another. So there's a couple of different use cases for this. One, in a future state world where everyone is using Nextpoint, you could produce to opposing counsel within Nextpoint without having any documents leave the cloud and be secure the entire time. No one's downloading it to their local computer, and it's not going through anything else. But that's not necessarily the case right now. The most common use case for the exchange feature is going to be exchanging your documents from your discovery database to your litigation database as you start to prepare for trial. And so what this is going to look like is, let's go back to review. And I'm actually going to open up a litigation database as well. 2021 litigation. Okay. So what we can do here is take our production. These are the documents that we want to exchange over. And we're going to click on all of them. And instead of hitting export, we're going to go ahead and hit exchange. And this is going to take us to this page where it's saying, do you want to review your load file? If you are exchanging with opposing counsel, you certainly would want to do so, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to skip those steps because I'm just exchanging this internally with myself, and I don't need to review what I'm producing to myself because I know what I'm producing with myself. Next, you can select a destination. If you want to create a new database, you can do so, and you'd say, I'm creating a litigation database, name it. Or if you already have it existing, you can choose the existing database, and it's going to prompt you for this exchange pin. So what I'm going to do is go to more in my litigation database. If you can tell that this is our litigation database based on there not being an analytics tab. Now we have a deponents and proceedings tab. So it's going to be used for different use cases. But what we're doing here, we're going to go to more, settings, export exchange, and here is our exchange pin. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. It's probably a little bit longer than the average person's garage code, or maybe to get into their cell phone. But you never know. Some people have trust issues and don't want people accessing their phones very easily. So could be this long, but this is going to be a unique identifier to say that this is the database where this information is going to be exchanged into. A database name, training 2021 litigation. Yep. And account name, Nextpoint training 2020. Yep. So that makes sense. Looks good to me. And the next thing you do is configure what you want to transfer over. So we're going to want to transfer over the natives. We're going to want to bring over that Bates numbering that we'd applied. Any document coding, we certainly want to bring over. Confidentiality codes, any custodian information, document tags. The only thing that I don't personally recommend is maybe these folders and folder categories, because you probably might want to organize your documents in a different way in the litigation database than maybe you had in the production or in the discovery database, because you might have folders that don't really have anything to do with production. You might want to set up yourself completely differently in the litigation database. And we'll talk about that as we go into that training. Some of my best practices that I like to share that clients find useful when organizing yourself in your litigation database. But the important thing is getting these documents over. The next thing over here is all of these metadata fields. Since this is internal, I don't want to lose anything. I'm just going to grab all of them. Obviously, if you're exchanging with opposing counsel, you want to pick and choose. But then the next thing you do is you just go ahead and hit submit, and you would have to approve that incoming exchange from the litigation database, and then it would start kicking off. I'm not going to actually kick it off, but I want to show you that where you would find this is you would go to data, outgoing exchanges. From here, same thing over here, you would go more data, incoming exchanges. And this is where you would find those exchanges of documents and where they're at in that process.